everybody, and welcome to Full Court Press, where we cover sports baseline to baseline. Now, this is our first episode, and this is the first of many. So I want everybody to stay tuned, and we're going to get down to some sports questions, ask people about their opinions, and, get to the gist of what's going on in the sports world today. This is my good friend, Jacob Conte. Where you from, Jake?
From Northern Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia. What's up?
Yeah, from Nova. I'm from PG County, Maryland. So, yeah, we're both Redskins fans, by the way.
Yes, sir.
We just took a tough L to the Saints, but we're going to move past that.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's get down to some questions.
Hey.
We're just going to talk about some general stuff for the first show. We're going to get more into the specifics as the show goes on. So, who do you think is the best team in the NFL, Jake? As now, you feel me? Week 3, week 4, week 5.
Best overall right now?
Yeah, like if you had to say they're the best team in the league, who would you pick?
I'm going to have to say the Rams. Rams right now, because I feel like they have a squad offensively and defensively. And, they coaches, he a young coach. He doing first 2 seasons, he showed, what he could really do right now. He's definitely up and coming, and it's they're undefeated. But if I do say them number 1, but right behind them right now is Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah.
I got Kansas City right behind them.
All right, so if you had to choose a team that wasn't undefeated.
Wasn't undefeated, I say the Saints. The Saints.
They definitely look good against
us. They sure did. I mean, Drew, he old right now, but he still got some fuel in him. He really doing what he's doing right now. And then they got Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. They got the two of them boys there. And then Michael Thomas. Their defense is young. They right now they on the up. They up and coming. I feel like they the best team. And I think last year, they would have made the Super Bowl had it been for that Stephon Diggs save, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so if you had to pick a player for MVP right now, I know it's early, but if you had to pick one player in the NFL that you would give the MVP trophy today, who you picking?
Today, right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say Pat Mahomes, MVP right now, because he's thrown the most touchdowns. He's thrown 300 yards against the number 1 defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
He has a solid team right now, but I definitely say Pat Mahomes right now would be who I feel like should be MVP right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes right now is unbelievable.
He's doing his thing right now.
And I can't say I would have predicted that he would do this well in his first year starting.
I didn't predict he'll do this well. I feel like he was going to do pretty good, because last season, when he started for Alex Smith that one game, he did pretty good.
He did.
But nobody, I don't think, expected what's going on right now, everything that's going on right now.
I think the most unexpected thing about him is I don't even think he's thrown an interception yet.
He's thrown one.
He threw one last week. Okay, so he has one interception. And anybody who followed Patrick Mahomes knows that he was a gunslinger at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, he's thrown 50 passes in many games.
Yeah.
So, but he did have some interceptions in college. But it looks like maybe he learned that from Alex Smith to not throw interceptions.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like he's matured, to be that young, and how mature he is. He takes control of the team. He under pressure is nothing. You saw the other week they had a tight game and they brought them back. I forgot who that was against. I believe it was, who did they play last week? I'm not 100% sure, but they were down and they came back. I want to say Pittsburgh, but I'm not 100%.
I think they did beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then like I said, this past week coming, how they beat the Jags, that's the number 1 defense. They beat the Patriots, and it's for a young player like him to really show his talent.
Yeah, a lot of people looked at that game to see where he was.
Yeah.
And he definitely looked like he didn't lose a step.
No,
he definitely didn't. So, yeah. So, we all know the NFL is trying to protect their players more and more every year. And it seems to me like they try to protect the quarterback a little too much nowadays. I don't know. Some people might like it because, when you do miss your quarterback, it does make all the games a little less interesting and,
Yeah.
But how do you feel about, let's talk about the roughing the passer.
So for me, when I play football, I play D-line. So you know, I'm all for tackling the quarterback. Like, I mean, I understand the league has to protect the quarterbacks, especially with what's going on with CTE and everything that goes on and players. You know, later players back in the day committing suicides and stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, it's football. Like, we all know what we signed up for when we play this game. And I feel like, yeah, protecting them is all right, but it's to a certain extent. Like, I mean, I'm a Redskins fan. You're a Redskins fan. I know that. But that Clay Matthews hit on Alex Smith, that was, like, one of those plays I was like, all right, like, y'all, you're doing too much. Like, okay, like. Because, you know, and then I heard about a player tearing his ACL because he was trying to sack a quarterback gently.
I did hear about that defensive lineman from the Dolphins.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, you're protecting the quarterbacks, but at what cost? Like, now you're making other players get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like when you play D1 and you're end up, like, in that, like, you're about to sack the quarterback, and it's hard to, like, stop. When you're running full speed,
it seems like the league is definitely asking 250-pound men running full speed to be able to stop the momentum mid-tackle, and it's just not making a lot of sense.
It's not.
Anybody who plays football knows that when you tackle people, you land on top of them, and that's just a part of football.
I mean, it is. I mean, we can look back. You know, obviously, we don't want the game to be like, it's a different time. It's not like the 80s with the 85 Bears. It's not back then. But it's like, you know, sometimes, like, it's you're finding players for hits. You know, I understand helmet to helmet. Like, like, you know, but at the same time, you're paying these players to play football. And now you're trying to tell them how to do their job, essentially. So it's like.
And you're trying to tell, these are men that are like 22, 23, some of them 30, 40 years old. Like, if you grew up playing football and you were taught from the first day you stepped on the field that this is how you tackle, how do you expect a grown man to switch up like that?
And it's like
it's not beneficial for anybody if players are getting hurt trying to follow the rules. Like, I've never heard a player getting hurt trying to follow the rules. And I think the NFL really needs to change this. I don't expect them to change it this year because you can't do something like that mid-season. No. But something like we saw with the catch rule change this year, I expect that this roughing the passer will be cleared up by next year.
Yeah, it definitely does. Because it's like, and at the same time, you're cheating the fans out of what they're paying for. They're paying to see, you know, people play football, the hits and stuff like that, you know. Think about it like this. You think a player like Sean Taylor could make it in this league today?
I think about that all the time.
Like, you think a person like how he hits, the impact, you think a player like Lawrence Taylor will make it in this league? Like,
nah,
with this day and age of what's going on now? Like, it's funny. It's real funny.
It is funny, and it's happening every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
It sure is. Every week.
Every week we see a questionable roughing the passer call that we didn't used to see.
Exactly. And it's like
third downs.
Yeah, you know, and it's
fourth
costing
downs.
teams. It's costing team jaws.
Wins and losses are being caused by penalties that we did not see before.
Penalty, automatic first down, like that could really get a team, you know, messed up.
Because I know Pittsburgh's head coach was very sad. Like, he was upset.
Oh yeah, Mike.
You could tell it in his face. He was upset.
He was definitely upset, you know, because it's like, even his safety last year, he talked about like the rules on Mitchell. Mm-hmm. He was like, you know, he's here to play football. Like, it's just like, it's really hard for, like, I feel bad for those players because it's like, football is a passionate sport, and it's like, you train so much. So when you make a tackle and like you're happy, like all the work you paid off to get a penalty, and then to say you're costing more yards for your team when you're making a good play. Mm-hmm. So what's a good play now as a defensive lineman?
It's like almost every time a defensive lineman gets a tackle on a quarterback, he has to check for the flag.
Yeah.
It's like he just knows to check for the flag because he knows that this is not the game that he was taught.
Exactly.
And I think that's a problem.
Gotta be a dog.
Now with targeting, I'll say targeting, the rule has evolved over the years, and I agree with the targeting calls.
Yeah.
I don't think in the NFL they don't kick you out the game. They just give you the flag. But in college, I definitely think they need to look into maybe not throwing players out for it. Because a lot of times I see questionable calls and starting players from a college team are getting thrown out. And they have to leave not only for the rest of that game, but they have to leave for an entire game. So if it's the second half, they missed the first half of the next game. And this goes on for the playoffs and all time. Like, I just feel like that kicking a player out for making a hit
is bogus.
Is bogus. Yeah, it's bogus
to me because it's just like
he didn't throw a punch. You feel me? He didn't fight. He just tried to make a play with going 100 miles per hour, which is what football is played at.
Exactly. People don't understand that you're playing like. I'm gonna speak into a football player's perspective. You know, like when you're playing the game, your main goal is to win. Like
exactly.
One of the main goals is to leave the game how you woke up that morning, which means not to get hurt, not like we understand that injuries happen with football, but you try your best to avoid it. It's certain players that's passionate, like they want to make it hit. It's certain players that like how they're taught to play football, they gotta be a dog, and that's just what it is. I understand we're targeting. Like, like last year, like Joe Flacco, that happened to him against the Dolphins, and he slid like that.
That was Alonzo.
Yeah, like that was targeting. Like I understand that, but as far as like certain times, it's just like I don't know. Like I just feel like refs need to like put in perspective, like they were running full speed, like things like that nature, like. Because, I mean, when you watch it, what's targeting. What's targeting.
And the result of all these targeting flags is players just hitting players lower. And I feel like that's why players such as like Odell Beckham suffered his broken ankle last year, because players are just going to sweep your feet now. And if you're wearing cleats, everybody knows it's a chance of them getting dug in the ground. And anytime your foot gets stuck in the ground, that's an injury.
That's an injury right there.
I'm not as appalled with the targeting. It's getting better and better each year to me. I think college needs to start throwing the players out for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this new roughing the passer has gone completely out of frame. Anybody who's watched the NFL from even 2 years, maybe 3, you might need 3 years to tell that this is not the same penalty that we've seen through the years.
No. If you've watched football for a while, like, 10 years plus, I say. Like, we've seen some hitters. We've seen some things happen. Like,
so, and it's not like every quarterback was knocked out last year, so I don't understand. I know Aaron Rodgers was hurt, but that doesn't cause for the whole restructure of the call. Like, that penalty is bogus.
But we got to understand, though, it's a business. NFL is a business. You got these quarterbacks getting paid $80,000 plus $100 million plus.
The contracts just get bigger and bigger.
They're getting ridiculous. So it's like a franchise puts so much money into one player. Like they want to see them play. Like they want to see them like play all year round. Like you saw what happened with Carson Wentz. We've seen what happened. Like they don't want certain things like that to happen. We've seen RG3, Redskins fans. We've seen what happened to RG3.
We saw it firsthand, man.
And it's like so. I mean, I get why they would do it, but at the same time, you got to be lenient here. Like, you have to know the difference between unnecessary and, okay, it's football, that's a hit, I feel like that's what the refs need to really figure that out. Get that figured out.
All right. So I think we talked enough about the NFL. Let's switch the topic to some NBA talk, you feel me? Right. Since the show is called Full Court Press,
yes,
I'm just waiting on the NBA season to start.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait. So it's a pretty obvious question to ask, but do you think that any team is good enough to beat the Warriors how they're currently constructed?
I don't.
Too early?
I think. I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Boston Celtics fan.
Okay.
So I feel like my Boston Celtics could beat the Warriors in the series. I feel like they're the closest. They're the closest that could beat. I want to say the Rockets, because last year, if it wasn't for CP3 getting
hurt, they had them on the ropes.
They had them, but they lost Trevor Ariza.
Steph Curry fell about 3 times.
Yeah, he did. But
they lost Trevor Ariza, but they got Melo. Do you think that's a good trade-off for their team?
Feel like with Melo, we have to just wait and see. Last year, there was the whole Hoodie Melo thing going on Twitter and all of it going on crazy, and people were like, "Oh, Melo's working out." But if you watch him last season with OKC, and we could say that maybe OKC wasn't like for Melo. Like we could say that he's not used to playing with a point guard, because a lot of people like to say he hasn't had a point guard like CP3 in his career.
Okay.
Like a one that's gonna get him the ball and things like that. So that's something we gotta wait and see. Like, can Melo be better? Like, could CP3 help Melo bring the Melo that we know back?
Do you think he's gonna start, or do you think he's gonna come off the bench? Because he seems pretty open to both.
So
for once in his life,
who's gonna be the 3 for the?
I think the starting lineup right now would be Chris Paul at the 2.
Harden at the 2.
Yeah, you got James Harden. I'm tripping. You got Chris Paul. You got James Harden.
Yeah.
You got PJ Tucker. You got Clint Capella.
Okay.
And I'm assuming
they still got Nene or Nene.
No, I think he might be gone. But I'm assuming they're starting Eric Gordon.
I mean, I feel like they're gonna give him a chance. They're gonna give him a chance to start, and then they're gonna see how that works. And then they're gonna see what's the best position for them to win. If he shows out as a role player starting, we'll see. That will keep him starting. If he's more better off the bench, that's beneficial for them too. But I think for him starting, we have to just wait and see. Like, we're not there with them during training camp and things like that, so we don't know how much progress he's been showing. But I say coming off the bench would be the best for Melo, because I feel like starting him, he doesn't have 82 games, 84 games in him.
No, it's 82.
82 games.
But they're gonna make the playoffs, so it's gonna be probably around maybe 100 for him.
Yeah. So I feel like exactly they're gonna make a deep run. So I feel like getting him off the bench would be good, just to make sure he's healthy, like throughout, because they need all they could get for the playoffs.
Yeah, they definitely
going against Golden State.
I feel like the biggest difference between Melo and Ariza is pretty much the defense.
Defense, yeah, definitely.
So as long as they can cover the defensive flaws that Melo has had over his career, I think that he'll definitely help them. Where it helped them beat the Warriors?
That's a whole different story right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a whole different story.
And then the Warriors also have added DeMarcus Cousins, which I think we'll just take the subject of that. Now, how did you feel when you first saw, not now, when you first saw that DeMarcus Cousins was signing with the Warriors? Because I don't think anybody predicted that. Nobody. So how did you feel?
I was just like, what's going on? Like, is this really the All-Star? Like, the Monstars? Like, what's going on?
The NBA has turned
everybody is teaming up. Now, and I'm going to say, like, at first, like, I was like, wow, like, they're about to go crazy. They're about to go wild. Like, they're winning the chip. But then I heard Stephen A. Smith say, hold on, because he is coming off an injury. Achilles injury.
Very hard injury.
And that's
to
a
recover
very
from.
hard injury. And he's about, 6'10"? Like, that's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like, he big dude.
And
so
he like to move, too.
Exactly. Like, he uses a lot of his
agility
and in basketball, like that ankle area, like you're using that to pivot, all types of things. So it's like, we just gotta wait and see if his game changes or if his game stays the same. If his game stays the same, they got a dynasty. I mean, they already have a dynasty.
He did only sign for 1 year. If they win the championship this year, you would expect for him to sign back?
I don't think so, because because they don't have enough money. I mean, it all depends on how.
I believe Klay Thompson will be a free agent too.
Him and KD will be free agents. They just give Steph a big deal. And then I don't think Draymond, they got Draymond throughout this year, but I think next year they gotta figure some things out.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of contract situations coming up.
Now, the thing about that, when we watch Golden State play, we see that they unselfish. Like, if somebody's hot, they gonna give that man that ball. He go ahead, let him shoot. How many times have we seen Clay go off? 60 points and things like that.
40
like
points
when
in
he's
the quarter.
when he's hot, like their players have no problem with give Clay the ball. He's hot.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want to see if that goes into negotiating contracts. Like I want to see if they're not going to be as selfish for the money, if they want to stay and continue this dynasty. Because if they stay together and continue this dynasty, it's going to be a problem.
I like that connection
you
made.
It's going to be a problem. Yeah.
Because I never even thought about it like that.
You feel, because it's like
they are very they're not selfish.
So it's like
but money is a different story.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I want to see if
a lot of people ain't greedy except for
that.
when it comes to money.
It says money shows your true character.
It really does.
So we'll see.
But we'll see. Let's move on to a different subject. So we all know that, the biggest free agent ever, LeBron. Every year he's a free agent. It's the biggest story. So, did you think he was going to LA? They were talking about it for a while. I feel like I wasn't really surprised that he went to LA because if you watched last season and seen how much LeBron had to do for the Cavs, like, it was bad. Like, he had to do everything. Like, we saw that game 1 against Golden State on the finals when that happened. JR, the refs called him out, like, all that. So, and then LeBron punched the whole locker, like, he off of frustration. And a player like LeBron always keeps his composure, and it's one of those. To him to punch a locker, and then a reporter asked him a question, what do you think is harder? When you were a free agent back before he went to Miami or now? And he obviously said the one when he went to Miami was the hardest decision. That showed me right there that he was ready to leave. That's a good point.
That showed me that he was ready.
That's a good point. It didn't seem like this decision was that hard.
No. And
I can't blame LeBron because he gave his all.
Yeah.
Anybody who watched them finals, or not just the finals, anybody who watched the whole playoffs, the whole season, all you heard was about LeBron. Didn't he play every game?
Did play.
I believe he played every game for the first time in his career.
Yes. He had to, though.
And he went out there and put it all on the line every night. And he dragged the team to the finals that nobody expected to go to the finals.
And I feel like this team was worse than the 07 team.
You believe so?
To the finals.
See, that's an interesting debate.
I think so.
That 07 team was pretty trash.
They were.
In my opinion.
But did you see Game 1? Game 1, I mean, I don't know.
Game 1, I saw LeBron put up 50 points.
And still lose.
Isn't that the narrative around LeBron?
And still lose.
And still lose.
I mean, the 07 team, and I don't know if I'm 100%, like, Boobie was there. Was Boobie?
Yeah, Boobie Gibson.
Boobie Gibson.
They had
Mo Williams.
West.
Mo
they didn't have Mo Williams. They had Eric
Snow.
Snow, I believe.
Eric Snow.
Darnell Marshall.
Okay.
Ilgauskas. Larry Hughes.
And Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes, like, let's not sleep. Larry Hughes was pretty. Hey, if you don't know who Larry Hughes is, do your Google, do your YouTube, look up Larry Hughes.
Y'all youngins might not know who Larry Hughes is.
You might not know who Larry Hughes is.
That right there,
that boy
right
could
there
ball.
Was a bucket.
He could ball. Like, he was doing what he could do. But, I mean, that's a good debate. That 07 squad against the Spurs or this against Golden State.
And he got swept both times.
Both times. He sure did.
Okay.
That's a
Who do y'all think is worse? Y'all can comment, below the video. Let me know who you think LeBron's worst team he took to the finals was.
One thing that we don't have to debate is we definitely know who was the best player on both of them teams.
Definitely. Hands down.
We definitely know who was the best player, so it's just like, yeah.
Alright, so since LeBron has moved out to LA, Showtime, biggest Hollywood movie place, all the stars in Hollywood, you think he's focused on basketball completely, or you think his mind's drifting onto his endeavors after his career is over?
I mean,
because they said he got like they got HBO, he got Showtime, he got his own barbershop show, he got a lot. He doing Space Jam 2, which I will be seeing the first day it come out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I think about one thing about LeBron. If you've seen LeBron James play, you know his first focus is about basketball. LeBron's been in the league, what? This is his 16th season?
16th.
So he knows and he said he goes on record that he wants to play basketball with his son, Bronny Jr., that he wants to play ball with him. So I feel like right now, Bron, he's focused on basketball. He wants to win a ring for LA, but he's thinking more of his future. You see how MJ now, like, he's billionaire, his shoes is out, everything like that. I feel like Bron, that move to LA was for the legacy after basketball. I feel like that's why LA was just that choice. Like, that's where he's gonna end it. Like, a person like LeBron having all these opportunities and things like that, like, he still go deliver every night at the end of the day. I don't think that's going to be a distraction. I don't think that we need to put that.
If any man can get through distractions,
it's definitely LeBron James. A kid that's been scouted since middle school, had press in his face since
probably 12 years old.
You see what I'm saying? So he knows, and he just knows how to deal with it. Chosen one for sure.
I don't think you can get more
as
pressure
a Celtics
than that.
fan, I'm not so like we hate LeBron, but as a basketball fan, when you see LeBron play, you gotta give respect where respect is due at the same time. And he built the whole school. After I saw he built a whole school this summer, I said, you know what? I really can't disrespect you. Like,
I don't even know if you can do anything better for your community
than
build a school and give all the kids free tuition.
Had Justin Timberlake here the
he gave them all bikes.
Like that right there, like
LeBron James is definitely a great character. Great character.
That's something you want to look at as a basketball player on and off the field, because we haven't heard anything off the field about LeBron to this date since he's been in the league.
It's almost amazing.
The closest thing we had was in high school with that whole Hummer scandal. But
exactly.
Who cares?
Do you think that since he's taking his talents to LA, eventually he'll be able to win another ring?
I mean,
I think he has a good 6 years left.
You can never doubt a player like LeBron. You can never doubt him. He's beaten, the Warriors that lost
down 3-1.
3-1. You can
that
never
won,
really
73 games?
73, yep. And you can never doubt a player like LeBron. What I can say about the Lakers, a lot of people see them and it's like, why do they have that lineup? But the Lakers are smart. I'll give it to Magic Johnson, because if you think about it, look at the players he has. LeBron, you got Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Lonzo, you got Kuzma, Brandon Ingram. Like, you have players.
You got pieces.
You have pieces, but the thing that they have that they didn't have in a while was that showtime. Have you seen Lance Stevenson preseason?
Yeah, I have.
And you seen Rondo, like the Lakers really have that showtime that's coming back.
I think Lance Stevenson has been waiting for an opportunity.
I feel like he's gonna really show well. Him and Bron, we've seen them go at it when they were on opposing teams, but now that they're together, I feel like. And the thing about Lance, Rondo, and Bron, especially Rondo and Bron, they got that. Rondo and Bron, I say first, those two, their basketball IQ is different. And I feel like Bron, since D-Wade, hasn't had, and Kyrie too, but the basketball IQ that Rondo has. As a Celtics fan, I know what Rondo knows. Like, he's like another coach, and Bron is like another coach. So if they can coincide,
they might got 3 coaches on one team.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if they can coincide, that could be something big. But if they feud, because Rondo has had beef with Ray Allen, and but if they feud, it could be bad. But it's something I feel like could be good or could be bad. But if they can get it to being good, the Lakers can definitely get something.
So how long, or do you think that they will not? If they do, how long do you think it would take them before? No, not even about the ring. We're gonna.
Right.
How long do you think it would take? Because the LeBron team never stays stable for long. How long do you think it would take before a trade happens?
I mean,
you think this season?
You gotta look. Kawhi just got 1 year at Toronto. He said he wanted to go to LA.
But didn't he say he didn't want to play with Bron?
Did he say that too?
I believe he did. I believe that's why he wasn't interested in going to LA after Bron went there.
I feel you like that. That could be a factor too. But at the same time, he's from LA. He's from that's his home. If the Lakers the Lakers got bread.
They do.
If they, because Bron definitely needs another piece. I would say.
Lakers
I can't say that until I watch this season, but with Golden State and all these other teams coming up in the West, and the West is like the toughest conference. Mm-hmm. We all know that.
Yes, sir.
He's gonna have to need another piece to help him get to that ring. To get another one, I think he'll definitely need it to get number 4 for him.
Yeah,
another piece. But you said how long will it take before they get a trade?
Yeah, like do you think that it would take?
I mean, when
you think it's gonna be fast? Like as soon as they start losing, they're gonna look for a trade, or you think
when is
they gonna ride out this year?
Around January, that's when that trade thing happens.
The deadline.
Yeah,
it's right before the All-Star break.
I mean, last year with the Cavs, like they made a good change. You know, like when they bought in like a few pieces. You know, but I feel like if Magic Johnson if he could bring somebody during that deadline that could help him, then yeah, like, you know, all depends though, you know, how it works out. But I think around that time they'll get somebody to help to add on to the team.
Definitely. So I think that's about enough for today for the first episode of Full Court Press.
Alright.
I'd like to thank everybody for viewing. If you're viewing, I'd like to thank my man Jacob Conte. Always holds me down.
I already know.
You want to say some words about your podcast?
Yeah, so I got a podcast, a Jungle Podcast. You know, we got another episode coming up soon. Y'all definitely go check it out. DAJUNGLE Podcast. And we got a few episodes, you know. We got about 6-7 episodes. So y'all go check it out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, all that. What's up, everybody in live? What's going on? But, you know, so.
Yeah, you know, we're here at the Lincoln University.
Yes, sir, Pennsylvania. The first HBCU.
Senior status.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for watching.